Two things break beginners with databases on AWS: a surprise $60 bill from a tutorial they forgot to clean up, and a database that goes down at 3 in the morning with nobody to fix it. Both come from not understanding Amazon RDS. So here's the whole video in one picture. RDS is like renting a managed apartment with a live-in professional database administrator. You bring your furniture, your data, and the landlord handles everything else. By the end, you'll never be surprise billed, and you'll finally understand multi-AZ versus read replicas for Sumble ISS. So what does managed actually mean? When you run a database yourself, you're on the hook for the boring, critical 3 a.m. work. RDS takes that over. It patches the operating system, upgrades the database engine, takes automated nightly backups with point-in-time restore, recovers from hardware failure, and monitors everything. You just bring your data and your queries. Think of the apartment's landlord handling the plumbing, the fire alarm, and the repairs, while you simply live there and arrange your furniture. That handoff is the entire point of RDS. But before you reach for RDS, know it's one of 3 very different buildings. RDS is the managed department for relational SQL data, where tables reference each other and you need joins. DynamoDB is a self-serve Locker warehouse, no SQL key value, built for massive scale with no joins, single-digit millisecond fast. And running a database on EC2 is buying a house, total control, and any engine you want, but you patch it, back it up, and you get paged at 3 a.m. The rule: joins in SQL, pick RDS, huge key value scale, pick DynamoDB. You truly need full control, only then EC2. Let's build one. This is the Create Database screen, and first you pick an engine. You can see the choices: MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, SQL Server, and Amazon's own Aurora, which is MySQL and Postgres compatible. For most people, MySQL or PostgreSQL is the cheap, familiar right answer, and that's what we'll use. The key idea: it's the same managed apartment, you're just choosing which brand of appliances goes inside. The landlord still maintains all of them. We'll come back to why Aurora is special near the end. Now the part that causes those surprise bills, templates, and the free tier. RDS offers production, dev test, and free tier templates. We pick free tier, but you have to know exactly what free means. It's 750 hours a month of one small dbd.t micro instance, 20 gigabytes of storage, and 20 gigabytes of backups, and only for 12 months. Crucially, the instance, the storage, the backups, and the IOPS are all separate line items. Pick a bigger unit or add rooms, and the rent quietly appears. The free apartment is one specific small unit on a 1-year trial. Next, instance configuration, sizing the unit. This is the single biggest lever on your bill. You choose a class, burstable T classes for small or bursty workloads, memory-optimized R classes for big N. Memory query work. For learning, the tiny burstable free tier class is perfect. Real example: don't rent a 5-bedroom penthouse for 2 people. Match the instance size to your actual traffic, because a too big class is the most common way people overpay for RDS without realizing it. Now, storage. The problem most tutorials skip: storage type and growth quietly cost you. General purpose GP3 is the sensible default for almost everything. Provisioned IOPS, IO1, or IO2, shown here, is for heavy, latency-sensitive workloads and costs more. And the setting that saves you from a 3 a.m. outage: storage autoscaling. Turn it on, and RDS grows the disk automatically before it fills up, like a closet that quietly gets bigger right before it overflows, instead of flooding. This is the most important security moment in the whole video, and almost every tutorial gets it wrong. Down here in connectivity is public access, and you can see the safe default is most demos flip this to yes, just to connect easily from their laptop, and they put a database open to the entire internet. Don't. Leave public access on no. Place the database in private subnets and reach it only from inside your VPC. You don't put your apartment safe in the lobby with a door to the street, you keep it in a back room only residents can enter. So how does RDS know which private subnets it's allowed to live in? Through a DB subnet group. The problem: it looks like a mystery dropdown. Here's what it really is: a pre-approved list of subnets across at least 2 availability zones. And that 2AZ requirement isn't bureaucracy, it's so that the managed service has a second neighborhood to place a standby in, which is exactly what we set up next. You pre-approve 2 neighborhoods so the landlord can keep your backup apartment in the other one. Now encryption at rest, here in the additional configuration. The problem: data on disk needs protecting, and compliance often demands it. RDS can encrypt the whole instance with KMS keys. But there's a gotcha that catches people: you must enable encryption at creation time, you cannot switch it on for an existing database later, and pair this with locking the database's security group to your application server security group, not to the whole internet. The safe is welded shut from the start, and it only opens for residents holding the right key card. Now the feature people misunderstand the most, and you can see it right here in availability and durability. Look at the diagram, a primary instance and a standby instance in a different availability zone. This is a multi-AZ deployment. The console even shows the single instance and multi-AZ cluster options beside it. Selecting multi-AZ tells AWS to keep that standby ready. But what exactly is that standby for, and why can't you just read from it? That's the confusion we're going to clear up completely on the next screen. Here it is, side by side, the single most valuable distinction in RDS multi-AZ is high availability. It's a synchronous standby in another zone that you cannot read from. It exists only to automatically fail over in about a minute when the primary dies, and it doubles your cost. It is insurance, not scaling. Read replicas are the opposite, asynchronous copies that can lag, that you deliberately send read traffic to, that can be many and even cross-region, but they do not auto-fail over. They're scaling, not insurance. Multi-AZ is a move-in-ready spare apartment. Read replicas are photocopies of your files in branch offices. Next, protecting your data, and 3 terms people muddle. Automated backups run daily, keep transaction logs, are retained for a window you choose from 1 to 35 days, and they PowerPoint in time restore to any second. But they are deleted when you delete the database. Manual snapshots are different, you take them on demand, they live forever until you delete them, they survive instance deletion, and you can copy them across regions or accounts. One gotcha, every restore creates a brand new instance. Backups are the landlord's rolling camera footage. A snapshot is a photo you keep in a drawer forever. A quick word on Aurora, because it gets shown as magic with no when or why. Aurora is MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible, so it's nearly a drop-in. Its storage is automatically copied 6 ways across 3 availability zones and self-heals. It supports up to 15 low-lag read replicas and runs roughly 3 to 5 times MySQL's throughput. And Aurora Serverless version 2 can scale down to almost nothing for bursty or dev workloads. The trade-off, it costs more, so pick plain. RDS for cheap and simple, and Aurora when you need serious scale and availability. Finally, the part nobody shows, not getting billed. Watch 6 things: the instance class, the fact that multi-AZ doubles it, storage and provisioned IOPS as separate charges, backup storage beyond the free amount, and snapshots you forgot to delete. Remember the free tier is 12 months only, and the big trap, a stopped RDS instance automatically starts again after 7 days, and it bills for storage the whole time. So to truly stop the charges, delete the instance, take one final snapshot first if you want to keep the data. Move out properly and hand back the keys. That's RDS the way professionals actually run it. Each service gets its own deep dive, so subscribe to VionCloud and we'll keep making a